Hello everyone and welcome to our chair yoga this week. I really miss seeing you all. I hope you're all staying healthy and well. But this is a way we can still bring some programs to you, and I hope you take part in and enjoy it. Let us know. So I'm going to start as we usually do by sitting back in the chair, closing the eyes if you're comfortable, and bring one hand to the chest and one to the belly. I'm going to take some gentle breathing. As you inhale, feel the belly and the chest lift. As you exhale, let them fold and relax. Inhale slowly and exhale. Let's do 3 more breaths like that. Slowing everything down. If you can, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. If that's not comfortable, breathe out through the mouth, pursing the lips a little bit. On the next couple of breaths, I want you to think about the ribs moving forwards and back, so expanding the rib cage to the front and back. Exhale. Maybe you feel your back pushing into the chair a little. A couple more breaths like that, focusing on the rib cage opening to the front and back. 1 more breath that way. And we'll take a couple of breaths. We'll bring the hands to the side of the ribs. So you can bring it so your thumbs are facing forward if that's comfortable, or you can wrap them around. Shoulders are relaxed. As you inhale, think of your rib cage moving out to the side, pushing into the hands. And then exhale. It doesn't have to be a big movement. It can be very subtle. You may not feel your rib cage moving at all, and that's fine. Two more breaths like that. And breathing out. 1 more breathing in. And breathing out. And then the last one, we'll bring one hand to the collarbone, one hand lower down towards the pubic bone. And as you inhale, think of finding length in the spine so you could get a little taller with each breath. And exhale, relax. Inhale. Imagine you can lengthen and then relax. 2 more breaths that way, inhaling and lengthening, and relax. And last one. And relax. This time we'll bring the hands to the belly. You can make a little diamond on either side of the belly button if that feels comfortable. Think of breathing in all those directions, front and back, side to side and up and down. Inhaling and exhale. Slow inhale and slow exhale. 2 more. And out and in and out. And then bring your breathing back to normal. Don't think about it, just bring your hands to your knees, sit back and relax, and just let your breath return to its normal rhythm. And then we'll start moving the head. As you inhale, we'll lift the chin, and exhale, lower the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Inhale, lifting. Feel that lengthen through the front of the throat, and exhale, the back of the neck lengthen. 1 more lifting, and then lowering. So if you can sit away from the chair, that's good to Keep everything strong in the middle. If that's too much for you, you can always lean back in the chair. We're going to turn the head gently, looking over the right shoulder, through the center, and then over to the left. Through the center, to the right, and then to the left. And just notice how far you can turn your head each time, and if and where you feel any tension. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Come back to the center. We'll dip the chin just a little bit. Bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. We're going to bring this right hand to the outside of the head. We're not going to push down on the head. We're going to push the head up into the hand. So resist the head trying to lengthen and feel that stretch. And then release it. So again, we're thinking of the head trying to come upright, but you're resisting it with the hand. And then release it. We'll do one more like that. Try to straighten out the neck. And then release it. Bring the hand down. Bring the head through the center. Over to the left shoulder. Through the center. Over to the right. One more down, time down to the center and over to the left. We'll do the same on this side. So we'll bring the left hand to the outside of the head. And again, we're trying to lift the head back upright. We're going to resist it with the hand. Push against the hand. And then release. 2 more times. Push against the hand. And release. Last time. And release, bring the hand down, let the head come down through the center and over. We're going to gently come around, not lifting it too high, make a complete circle with that head. All the way around, but not letting the head drop too far back. And then we'll change directions and make circles in the opposite direction. Back to the center. We'll sit up nice and tall, bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then relax them down. Shrugging the shoulders and then relax. 2 more times. Up and then relax. Lifting and relax. Let's bring the hands to the shoulders. I'm going to make big circles with the elbows. So as you're moving those elbows in circles, you're moving your shoulders as well. You might feel some little cracking and clicking. Still sitting up tall if you can. And then we'll reverse those circles. Nice and gently and slowly. One more time. And just little shoulder shrugs each side. And we'll sit up tall again. And just take a couple of breaths here. And just take inventory of how you feel from the head down to the toe. Where are you feeling tension? What feels good? What feels tight? I'm going to let the arms come down by the side. And we're just going to breathe and take some very small movements. So as you inhale, notice your chest lifting a little bit. And as you exhale, let everything collapse down just a little bit. As you inhale, everything lifts. And exhale, folding down just a little bit. We'll begin to make it a little bit bigger. As you inhale, lift the chest a little bit. Let the arms turn, palms up. And as you exhale, let everything come down. Inhale, unfolding. Palms reach up, arms come out a little bit, lift the chin, and as you exhale, turn the palms towards the back, let everything fold down just a little bit. Do 2 more like that. And curling down. And last one, inhale, lifting everything, expanding, arms reach out. And exhale, fold down. And we'll sit up nice and tall. And I'm just going to take a little drink of water, so you should too. We're going to do a little bit more work with the shoulders. This is what we call rainbow arms. And if you've come on our regular Wednesday class, you've done this before. So let's start with the right hand over onto the left knee. You're going to keep your eyes on the hand. Follow it all the way up, making a big rainbow up and over behind you. Leave the arm there, reaching it away from you. Turn the head over to the left. Turn the head to look back at the hand. And follow it again, all the way up and over. And we're going to switch hands. So left hand on the right knee to start. Make that big rainbow all the way up and over. Leave the arm out. Turn the head away. Turn to look back at the hand. And then follow it all the way down. I'm going to repeat that. So right hand to the left knee. Sweeping it up and over. Look away. Look at the hand. And then reach it up. Really stretching the arm. Reaching the fingertips as far away from you as you can get. And we'll switch hands. Left hand to the knee. Sweep it up and over. Big inhale here. Leave the arm. Turn the head. Back at the hand. And then sweep up and over. Let's do one more each side. So we'll start with the right hand. Sweeping up and over. We'll turn the head to look over the left. Turn it to look back at the hand. Sweep up and over. Bring it down. Last time. Left hand to the knee. Reaching it up and behind you. Turn the head to the right. Turn the head to look at the left hand. And then sweep up. All the way up and over. And bring everything back to the center. Take a couple of those. And little shoulder shrugs again. Let's work on our hands a little bit. So you can relax back in your chair here if you like to, or you can sit up nice and tall. I'm going to take the hands and make some fists and make some circles with the wrists. We'll do a few in this direction. And then we'll switch directions, make some circles the opposite way. And then we'll stretch the fingers out as wide as we can, and then make a fist. Stretch them wide and make a fist. A few more times. Stretch them and make a fist. And stretch and make a fist. This time we're going to bring each finger in turn towards the palm of the hand. So we're just going to bend the fingers in towards the palm so you can hold your arms up here, or you can bring your hands down and do it there. So you'll notice that it's hard to just move one finger at a time. It's okay, we're just bending them in, getting a little bit of movement. Good. And then we're going to shake the hands out like you're shaking water off your fingers. We'll bring the right arm out. Try to keep the shoulder down as you lift the arm, so avoid this. Point the fingers down to the floor, and we'll just gently squeeze this wrist. So just decompressing the wrist just a little bit. You can wiggle those fingers. And then we'll rotate the palm and reach the fingers back. Again, trying to keep that shoulder down. So you can do this with a bent arm if this is too much of a stretch for you, and you'll still feel a stretch in your forearm, or you can lengthen the arm away from you. Still maintaining that slow breath in and out. And then we'll give that little shake out, and we'll do the left hand. So we're reaching it out, pointing the fingers to the floor, gently squeezing the the back of the wrist, wiggling the fingers. And we'll rotate the palm and stretch fingers back. Again, remember you can always do this with a bent elbow. One more breath here, nice and slow. And then gently lower that, give a little shake. So reach the hands out in front, so clasp the fingers, push them away from you, and then bring them back. And then push them away, and bring them back. Two more. Just gently stretching the back of the hands, and the fingers, and stretch. And then lower, give everything a shake. Maybe wiggle those thumbs a little bit. And let's come to some footwork here. So I'm going to sit forward on my chair because my feet aren't quite completely on the floor. We're going to come up on the tiptoes and then come onto the heels, lift the toes up towards the ceiling. So lift the heels and the toes. We can do that a few times, lifting the heels like you're wearing high heel shoes, and then the toes. Heels and toes. Lift the heels, you might feel some work in the calves here, and when you lift the toes you might feel a stretch in your shin. So a couple more like that. This is good to do before you go out for a walk, just to get everything moving. And then we'll pause, and we're going to reach one leg out and then the other first, just to get a little bit of movement. And then we'll reach the right leg out. We're going to point the toes and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. Then we're going to keep the leg still and make some circles at the ankle. And maybe you can hear my ankle cracking. And then we'll switch directions, trying to get some mobility in these ankles. And then bring that foot down, give a little shake. And then we'll do the left leg. Point and flex. Point and flex. A few more times. And then again, we'll keep the leg still, but make circles with the ankles. So you can always do this with your foot on the floor if you prefer, or you can leave your leg up for a bit more work. And then switch directions. And come back down. So this time we're going to reach the legs out. Well, you can keep them on the floor or reach them out. I want you to think of stretching your toes out as wide as you can, and then relaxing them. Stretch the toes out as you're stretching out your fingers, or you're going to get a pedicure and then putting those little foam things between your toes, and then relax. Stretch out your toes and relax. Stretch out the toes and then relax, then give them a little shake. We'll sit up nice and tall again. So this time we're going to come back to that. We're going to combine a couple of things, cat-cow, that we did before when we were lifting the chest. We're going to interlace the fingers again. This time, switch the interlace of your fingers, so whichever way is non-habitual. Push away, we'll reach the arms out again, and then we'll bring them back. This time, as you push them out, we'll round the spine, let everything drop down a little bit, and as you inhale, lift the arms and the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up. We'll bring the hands behind the head. And then we'll slowly begin to take a side bend. And up through the center. And we'll side bend the other way. This time we're going to come up. We're going to take a side bend. We're going to stay here. Bring that right hand down to the chair. The chest is facing forward to start. And as you exhale, think of that shoulder coming down towards the knee. And then inhale to lengthen. So make sure your body's doing the work here. You're not staying still and moving the elbow, but the body is curling down towards the knee. And then inhale to lengthen. Let's do 2 more, folding down, left shoulder towards the right knee, opening the chest, folding down, and opening the chest. This time we're going to fold down, but we're going to release the hand, bring it down to that right knee, and just turn and look down at the floor on the outside of that foot. Just a little forward fold. And then as you inhale, stay in that position with your chest turning and maybe turn a little bit more. As you inhale, get taller. As you exhale, use the rib cage to move you around. Push down in that onto that thigh if that helps you. And we'll reach the right arm behind. We'll sweep it all the way up and over, reaching for the opposite corner. Bring it down to the knee and come into the center. I'm going to lengthen the spine, keep the arms crossed and bring them to the shoulders. So there's some choices here for your arms. You can stay here, or you can bring the backs of the hands together, or you can wrap them around entirely for eagle arms if that is comfortable for you. So I'm going to take this middle ground here. I'm going to lift the elbows and then fold forward. Lift the elbows in the chest and fold forward. We're going to come up through the center and we'll make some circles with those elbows like we're drawing a circle on the wall in front, and switch directions. We'll open the arms out wide, lift the chest, reach the arms behind you, and then bring everything back down into the center. Let the head drop and take a couple of breaths here. Maybe some more water. And then we're going to come back to the center. Interlace the fingers. You can switch the fingers again. So you exhale, push the arms away, drop the chin. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale to lift. Do one more folding forward. Inhale, lift. We'll bring the hands behind the head gently and take a side bend to the left. And then come up. And a side bend to the right. And lengthen. Over to the left. I'm going to bring this left hand down. This time the right shoulder is going to come towards the left knee. And then lengthen. Exhale, fold towards the knee. And inhale, open the chest. 2 more. Folding down. And inhale. Last one. This time we're going to fold forward. We'll release the hand. Take a fold over that left knee. Let the eye look down at the floor on the outside of that left foot. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. Still rotate it towards the left. Get taller as you inhale. Use the rib cage again to draw your torso around to the left. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to rotate. Reach the left arm behind you. Sweep it all the way up and over, reaching for the opposite corner. Bring it down to the knee and come into the center. Keep the arms crossed as you inhale and hug the shoulders. So we'll do that same option of eagle arms. We can stay here. Bring the backs of the hands together or wrap them around. You can always bring it this way as well if that's more comfortable. So I'm going to, this side feels tight to me. I'm going to keep my elbows this way, but you can always take those other options if you like. So we're going to lift the elbows. As we inhale and exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift. And exhale, fold. We'll come back up and we'll make those circles with the elbows. So trying to keep everything else still, just the arms are doing the work. And then we'll switch directions of that circle. . open the arms out wide, lift the chest, lift the chin, put the fingers behind you this time, reaching back. As you exhale, bring the hands to the knees, take a child's pose, let the chin drop gently, and breathe. Slowly breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. One more. Breathing in and out. We'll sit up tall again. I'm going to maybe scoot forward a bit on the chair again and do a little bit more leg work. So we're going to bring the hands to the thighs. We're going to lift one leg and then lower it and lift the other leg. Going to lift and lift. So as you're lifting, you might feel some work happening in these front muscles, the quadriceps. Lift and lift. Now we're going to try and lift the leg using the back of the leg and the glute. So we're going to try and squeeze this glute and lift the leg. And down, and squeeze the left and lift. It's okay if you can't feel those muscles working, just thinking about it will give you some benefit. We're going to lift and lift. We're just going to do this little walk here. Now you can stick with that. You can make this as big or small as you like. And if you want to, you can add your arms. We call this power walk. We're going to take a little walk. And you can make this really fast if you like, if you want to go running, but we're going to go fairly slowly today. And lift, swinging the arms, getting the heart rate moving a little bit. And a few more. Last one. And then lower. You can let the feet come a little bit wider. Take a forward fold. Bring the breath back down. Slow everything down. And then we'll sit up tall. Do a little bit of core work. So still sitting fairly far forward on the chair, depending on the height of your chair. Bring the hands together, like in Namaste hands. Let's do Namaste hands. We're going to lean forward and open the arms out to cactus. And then as you exhale, draw everything back. Leaning back a little bit here. Inhale forward. As you exhale, draw everything back. So use these muscles to draw everything in. Coming forward and exhale. Do a few more. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. One more, and exhale, and come back upright. Let's keep the hands in these Namaste hands. I'm going to push them towards the right shoulder and then use this right hand to push the left hand over to the side. Use this hand to push and push and push. Last one. We'll come back to the center. Keep the hands together, point to the front and then down towards the floor. Back to the front, to the ceiling. I'm going to rotate and point towards your chest. Depending on how tight your wrists are, you may be able to point to your chest or not. Then to the ceiling, we're going to rotate around to the front and down. To the ceiling, pointing to the chest or the chin. Do one more like that, pointing down and then up and pointing at yourself And then release the arms, give everything a little shake. Make some circles with those wrists. Good. So we're going to come around to our warrior series. We're going to scoot around to the right side of your chair. So this left foot is pointing to the front of the room and is flat on the floor. And the right foot is at the side and your chest is facing that right foot. Let your arms come down by the side. Nice and strong, drawing everything through the center line. Reach the arms up for warrior one. So try to have long arms here. If the arms are bent or your shoulders are tight, you can bring them down, but just try to keep the arms long. So as far as you can get them, reaching as you breathe. Keep breathing. And then we're going to bring the right arm down in front, left arm comes behind, and the chest opens towards the front if you can. Look over those right fingers. Lengthening the arms. We'll lower the left hand, take hold of the chair, rotate that front arm. I'm going to reach it up towards the ceiling first, and then reach over for your radiant warrior or reverse warrior. Take a couple of breaths here. Feet are still on the floor. And then we'll come all the way back up to our warrior two. Nice and strong. I'm going to bring this right forearm to the leg. I'm just going to let this left arm hang down for a moment. Make some circles with it. Let it just use its own momentum to move around in one direction and then the other. And then we're going to reach forward and up. So turn your chest to face the front. Arm reaches overhead. If this is too much for your arm, you can bring it up to the ceiling or you can bring it to your hip, whatever feels comfortable to you. I like to look down at the floor while I'm doing this, so your choice of arms. Keep breathing. One more breath. And we'll inhale, come back up to warrior two. Sweep this arm down. Turn the chest to face that right leg and reach. And then lower the arms. Take a breath. And we're going to come round through the center and over to the other side. So this time the right foot is facing the front of the room, left foot is facing to the side, the chest is facing to the left foot. Arms are down by the side, reaching them up nice and strong again. So remember, you can keep them lower if you can keep them long. Couple of breaths. And then the next exhale, we're going to lower that right arm behind you, palms face down. Look over those left fingers. Think of the chest turning towards the front of the room. So we're getting a little bit of rotation here. We'll bring the right hand down behind, hold onto the chair, rotate that left arm. Reach up first, get nice and tall, long spine, and then take that radiant warrior. Keep breathing. One more breath here. And we'll come all the way back up to warrior two. Nice, strong again. We're going to bring that arm to the left thigh. Let this right arm hang down heavy. Make some circles with it. Just let it swing gently in one direction and then the opposite direction. And then we're going to reach it forward beside the ear and then rotate the chest to the front. So same options here. Depending on how your shoulder feels, you can stay here, or you can reach the arm up, or you can bring it all the way down to the hip, whatever feels good. 2 more breaths. And we'll slowly lengthen everything to warrior 2. Sweep this right arm down and up into warrior 1. And then lower the arms. And bring everything back to the center. Let's take a couple of breaths. Sitting back in your chair, bringing the hands to the thighs. Let the chin drop just a little bit. And take a couple of those calming breaths. So I want you to inhale slowly. And exhale. Make your exhale longer than your inhale if you can. So if you're inhaling for 1, 2, maybe you can exhale to 1, 2, 3, 4. If that's too slow, then you can change it to your own pace. So a couple of nice slow breaths here. Last one. Nice breath in and out. We're going to come into eagle again. This time we're going to use the legs as well as the arms. So we're going to come sit up nice and tall. We're going to take the right foot, we're going to lengthen it out to the side and bring it into the ankle. Bring it out to the side, bring it a little higher. The next time we're going to bring it up and over, we're going to cross the legs. So if you don't like to cross your legs, you can cross at the ankle, or you can let that foot rest on a block or something in front. I'm going to cross mine. Other foot's on the floor. So we want to sit nice and tall here with equal weights on the sits bones. So to get into our eagle arms, this time we're going to reach the arms out to the side. We're going to cross them over. Let's bring the left arm on top of the right. So we've got a cross here. Choices are the same as before. You can bring hands to the shoulders. Bring the backs of the hands together. Or maybe since this is the second time, you can get a little bit more deeply into this. So we're going to lengthen everything and hinge forward towards that knee. Inhaling up. And exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, fold. 1 more. Lengthen. And fold. We're going to come back to the center. Same as we did before, we're going to make circles with those elbows. So your choices of arms remain the same. You can interlace the fingers here, palm to palm, or make it a bit more gentle. And we're going to switch directions for that circle. You're going to keep the legs crossed, but open the arms, lift the chest, and bring everything back to the center, still with that leg crossed. Folding forward just a little bit. Lengthen everything. We're going to slide this foot up so it's over the thigh, and we'll come into our pigeon pose on this side. So this right foot is flexed, so the toes point back towards the shin. Spine is nice and long. You may already feel a stretch on this outer right hip. If you do, you can stop here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can begin to hinge forward. Making sure to keep breathing until you feel some tension in the hip. You may feel something in the inner thigh. So not forcing it, pausing when you feel that resistance, and just take some breaths, actively trying to relax that hip. Just a few more breaths here. And we'll slowly lengthen everything again. We're going to rotate this leg, unwind it, but take hold of the right leg. You can either hold around the outside of the shin or underneath the thigh, if that's more comfortable. We're going to let the leg be heavy and make some circles with the leg, just to relieve any tension that you may have got there. And then we'll bring that leg down, give it a little jiggle and shake, and sit for a couple of breaths and just notice the difference you might feel on one side of your body compared to the other. And then we'll come into the other side, starting with eagle. So we can lengthen that left foot out, bring it into the ankle, lengthen it out, a little higher, out. We're going to bring it all the way up and over. Again, you can cross your legs or you can cross your ankle, whatever feels most comfortable. Don't force it. Sit up tall, so nice long spine. Reach the arms out. This time we'll bring the right arm on top of the left and come into our eagle arms in any of the options that you like. And again, since this is the second time, you may feel you've got a little bit more movement this time. You're going to inhale, lift the chest and the arms, and then fold forward. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Inhale to lift. Remember, you've got all those different options for the arms, so don't force it. One more, lifting. And then folding. Sit up nice and tall. We'll make those circles again. And one direction, and then switch directions. And then we'll open the arms out, lift the chest, reach the fingers behind you. And bring everything in. We'll keep this leg across, but we'll slide the foot up so it's on top of the thigh for our pigeon on this side. So now the left foot is flexed, toes are pointing back towards the shin. So pause here first and just notice if you feel a difference from the other side. Very often we have one hip that cooperates more than the other. So you can stay here, or just as before, you can begin to hinge forward until you feel some resistance. And when you feel that resistance, pause there and take a couple of breaths, trying to relax this area of the hip. Keep breathing. And then we'll slowly, as we inhale, lengthen the spine. We'll draw this knee in again. You can hold it on the outside of the shin or underneath the thigh, but let the leg be heavy. Let the arms do the work, making some circles here. In one direction and then the other, just to relieve any tension. And then bring that leg down, give it a little jiggle, a little shake, and then sit up nice and tall. We'll close the eyes and we'll come back to that breathing. And just take that little scan of the body again and see how you feel compared to when you started. Breathing slowly. This time we'll bring the feet a little bit wider, so maybe as wide as your chair legs. We'll take our Sufi circles. So for this, you can either keep your whole spine nice and still and straight, as though you're stirring something. So you can swing like a pendulum, or you can make it much bigger and bring your shoulders forward and round. So whatever feels good for you. Maybe you start off small and then let it get bigger and bigger. You can roll forward on your sits bones and then back. So make it as big or as small as you're comfortable with. And then we'll switch directions. So I'm going to start off small again, like a pendulum. And then maybe begin to make it a little bit bigger, changing the shape of the spine as you come forward and back. And then we'll pause in the center. Excuse me, sit up nice and tall. Let's do one more thing for the legs. We'll take the right leg, lengthen it out in front. Bring the heel to the floor. Hands can come to the left thigh, but nice long spine here. We're going to hinge forward. Keep hinging. And you might feel some resistance at the back of the leg. So you might feel this stretch behind the ankle or the calf, or behind the knee or the thigh, or maybe even up into your glutes or your lower back. So all that is normal. You'll feel it where you are the tightest. So hinging forward, keeping the neck nice and long in line with the spine. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths here. Slowly lengthen the spine. Bring this leg in. Give it a little shake. And then we'll lengthen the left leg out. Heels on the floor. Toes are pointing to the ceiling. Hands on the right thigh. Spine is nice and long. And begin to hinge forward. And just notice where you feel the stretch on this side, and if it's different than the first leg, that is perfectly normal to feel a difference on each side. We'll take a few breaths here. Again, keep the back of the neck in line with the spine, so we're not hanging the head down or lifting it up to look upwards. Slow breaths. One more breath. And we'll slowly lift the chest, come back to the center. Sit back comfortably in your chair. Let's do our neck exercises again, lifting the head on the inhale and slowly lowering it on the exhale. We'll lift. And lower. We'll bring the ear to the shoulder, come down through the center to the other shoulder. A couple of times like that, nice and slowly here. Take a whole breath to move from one side to the other. Last one, down through the center, over to the left. Come back through the center, lift the chin, a couple of shoulder shrugs. And then we'll sit back, let the chin drop a little bit, bring the hands to the thighs, and get ready for Shavasana. So make sure you're in a comfortable position here. You can have your feet any way that feels comfortable. If your hands are on your thighs, draw the elbows back a little bit so your hands and arms are relaxed. We'll start just by focusing on your breathing. Noticing the chest moving as you breathe. Maybe you have a sense of your belly moving. On the inhale, your shoulders lift a little. Maybe you feel your collarbones moving. Notice your back against the chair. And how does that sensation change with each breath? So I'm just going to focus on the breath. I'm just observing one breath at a time. So if your mind wanders or you're disturbed by a sound outside, just come back to that breath. Inhale and exhale. If it helps you, you can count your breaths. So an inhale would be 1. The exhale is 2. And 3. And 4. Until you get to 10. And then you start at 1 again. So if you get distracted, just start counting again. Just noticing the movement of your body as it responds to your breath. And we'll begin to bring the attention back into the room. Notice any sounds. And begin to make some small movements. Start by wiggling your fingers and toes. Circle at the wrists and ankles. Maybe stretching the arms overhead for a big stretch. And bring everything down. And sit up nice and tall. Again, a couple of shoulder shrugs. Whatever movement you want to take. I would just ask that when this is over, you don't just jump up quickly and return to everything. Try to take this sense of Shavasana with you. I so miss seeing you all, and hopefully we'll see each other soon. In the meantime, always Namaste. Thank you, everyone.